Hello everybody, my name is Damyana Kolarova and I'm going to talk about my experience during the Media Fast and Media Immersion Day on our fourth assignment. To be honest, in the beginning I was feeling really anxious the previous night before my Media Fast Day, and I just put my phone into the drawer thinking that my first reaction in the morning would be to see what the time was. So I did that, and in the morning when my media fast started, um, my first reaction was to grab my phone and see what the time was, but it wasn't there, so I didn't know what the time was, and I just spent 20 minutes laying in bed and just listening to the sounds coming from the corridor and just thinking what was going on. I listened to people going to lectures, talking, and I felt that I was um, completely torn off by all the obligations that I had, and I just knew that this was a day all for myself, and uh, it was as if time had stopped for me. And so I didn't know what to do, so I started putting my room and my desk into order. But the thing was that I had forgotten to put away my laptop too, so every few seconds I just looked at it, and it was like those moments in the scary movies when there is a cursed object. So I kept looking at it, and I just kept thinking that it was like a balloon of information that I just needed to use. And so I put my laptop away, and then I continued to organize myself. And after that, I decided that there was nothing else to do rather than go outside and have a walk. But that was not such a good idea after all, because when I went outside, I started seeing people, posters on the spine, and I just didn't think that so many images would come to my head. Because each time I saw a person or an image, immediately I started thinking about movies that I had seen, images that I had seen, um, even like posts on Facebook that I had seen before. So it was kind of an experience that, even though I was restraining myself from using media, my memories were coming back to me, and I was still kind of processing media that I had come across before that. So then I decided that it would be for the best to go around places where there was less people and less posters and media and sounds. So I first went to the porter, and again, when I saw him for the 100th time, I thought how much he looked like one character from a Bulgarian advertisement, and I thought this is again my memories coming back to me. And then I went to the forest part, which is near to my accommodation, and I was thinking, okay, now I'm going to be like in nature. I'm going to think about myself, and I'm going to think about the media fast. But then I realized when I went there and I was like under the tree and it was sunny, I just thought that I was thinking about those moments in movies when people were staring into nature, thinking deep thoughts, and I just realized that this was media again. So I realized it would be best to just go back to my room. And when I went back to my room, it was already like afternoon because I had slept too long, and I didn't know what to do because I couldn't contact my family, I couldn't contact anybody for that matter, and I just spent 2 hours laying in bed and just thinking about all the things that I had avoided thinking about. And I pondered upon problems that um, I just didn't have the time to do before, and my mind was so much clearer and I was more concentrated, and all the things that I started to see in my room, like it was more vivid, and I just had a really good time relaxing my mind and letting myself go. After that, I did I I had this idea that I would start drawing, and I was this close to cheating because I wanted to start drawing because I had so many ideas and I wanted to write and draw, but this would be creating another media message. So I stopped myself from doing that, and I just went to sleep. When it comes to the media immersion day, I was pretty worried because I didn't know if I would be able to keep progress of every media that I came across. But in the end, it didn't turn out to be so hard. I kept my notebook with me and I just wrote what I did. And in the end, of course, it turned out that there was so much media into my life. I didn't realize before how much Facebook I used. Like I checked my Facebook in every 5 or 10 minutes, and during the whole day, um, although I was reading all kind of articles, I went to my lectures, I met my friends, I talked on Skype, I read news because of the previous day I was feeling hunger for media, and I read so many things. I watched so many things. I read books. I drew. I do so many things, and in the end, I thought to myself, okay, so this was the day when I used all the media that I could use. But what is the result of all this? And I realized that I had no clear idea what I had been doing the whole day. I realized and I remembered reading some articles, I remember going to some sites, talking to some people, but I didn't have any clear idea what was I doing. And so um, in the end, it turned out that on the day when I was not actually using media, I had more clear idea of what was going on with my life, and I thought about things and I came to solutions. While the day when I was using media and I did absolutely everything that a student should do on such a day with lectures and readings, I had forgotten what I had read. I didn't have any solution. I hadn't processed any of the information, and I just felt completely um, terrified by the fact that after gathering so much information, I hadn't processed it. And so when I went to bed, I already had a headache, and I just knew that this was a wasted day because it was a day just like any other day. So in the end of my experiment, I came to the conclusion that it would be good for me to restrain myself from media from time to time, just to be able to give myself time to catch up with my own thoughts, my own process of the information. And I think that I'm going to try to really do this in the future. And actually, this is my experiment, and it was a good experiment for me because I think that I'm going to try to um, make a new habit for myself and restrain from media just from time to time.